Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today's Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. Today, Monday Night Football, NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football, soccer. We're going to bring the portfolio back and give out a pick as well, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with Monday Night Football. We'll go over the game. It was a snoozer, as we all thought, but it took a while as the Texans beat the Cowboys by a score of 34-10. The Cowboys with Cooper Rush kind of remind me of those Giants teams like before Dayball showed up, and even in like sometimes with Dayball, like how they kind of would hang around and then the other team would just pour it on late in the second half. As Houston's 7-4, Dallas is a disastrous 3-7, in spite of their, well, it's because in spite of their quarterback being hurt at the same time. C.J. Stroud, 23 of 34, 257 yards and a pick. Cooper Rush, 32 of 55, 354 yards, a touchdown, the pick. Probably the most garbage 354 yards I've ever seen in a game. All right, so there you have it for Monday Night Football. Now we'll move on to the NBA. We'll recap the games from yesterday, and we have a nice slate today of only 6 games. Tomorrow's the busy day. Bulls over the Pistons, 122-112. Heat over the Sixers, 106-89. Knicks over the Wizards, 134-106. It's their finally multiple games over 500. Raptors over the Pacers, 130-119. Bucks over the Rockets, 101-100. On a game-winning layup by Damian Lillard, kind of throwing it back to the past. Magic over the Suns, 109-99. Hawks over the Kings, 109-108. Clippers over the Warriors, 102-99. All right, in-season tournament today, 7 o'clock, TNT. The game of the year so far in the NBA. Cavs, Celtics, group. I want to say they're Group B. No, they're Group C. My line is Celtics, 1 3/4 total, 234 and the 20th. And we have here Boston by 5.5 total, 236. I'm going to take the Cavaliers plus the 5.5. They're undefeated. But I do think this is where it finally ends. And the Cavaliers will get the first loss, but I think it's going to be close. I think they'll hang around, but Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and company will remind everyone, hey, we're the champs. We don't give a shit that the Cavaliers are 15-0. We're the best team in the NBA. So the Celtics are going to have a big chip on their shoulder in this game. I mean, this will not be best bet, but I'm going to take the Cavs getting the 5.5. But in late time, crunch time, the Celtics will pull it out. And it's going to be a classic. Next up, 7:30. Hornets Nets. That's Group A. My line is Hornets by 3/4, so 224 and 3/10, and it's Brooklyn by 3, total 221. I'm going to take Charlotte plus the 3, plus the 34 outright. Brooklyn has not played well lately. They lost the 2 to the Knicks, although they're competitive in both games. But I think the shoe has to drop at Brooklyn at some point. So I think Charlotte plus the 3, plus the 34 outright. 8 o'clock. Nuggets, Grizzlies. That is Group C in the West, I think. Yes. My line is the Nuggets by 3/4, so 231 and 13/20. That's because of no Ja. And Grizzlies are favored by 4, total 227. So do they not know that Ja's out, or do they think that Jokic is out too? But no Ja and no Jokic, that's like a no bet. But right now, I'm taking the Nuggets getting the 4 plus 156 outright because I do not trust Memphis without Ja Morant. If Ja Morant's coming back, that's a different story. So I'm going to take Denver at plus 4 and plus 156 to win straight up. 8:30, Pelicans, Mavericks. That is, I want to say Group A in the West. No, it's also Group C. I have the Mavs by a whopping 23 and a quarter, total 221 and 9/20. It's 12 and 222. I'm laying the big wood. Betting against the Pelicans is the way to go right now with all their injuries. 9:30 TNT Thunder Spurs. That is Group B in the West. Yeah, because I know Lakers and the Spurs are Group B. My line is the Thunder by 5 and a quarter, so 218 and 19/20. And it's 9.5 and 222 and a half. This is hard, but I'm going to take the Spurs getting the 9 in the hook. This line tells you that they think Wemby's out. But who else is out? Chet Holmgren. So, I just don't think the Thunder are this kick-ass team without Chet Holmgren. Sorry. And if Wemby plays, the Spurs are going to potentially win the game outright, despite me having the Thunder as a 5 and a quarter favorite. So, I'm going to take the Spurs getting the 9 in the hook. And last but not least, 10:30, Jazz Lakers, also Group B in the West. My line is the Lakers by 12 and a quarter, so 219 or 229 and a 20th or 3/20. And it's 11 and 235. Under. First time giving out a total so far. I like the under a lot. That's a high total for that game. And no Walker Kessler either. I mean, that could hurt the under, but 235 is high. Okay. Now move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's slate. I believe we have a big slate tonight in hockey. Blue Jackets over the Bruins 5-1. Avs over the Flyers 3-2. Habs over the Oilers 3-0. Ducks over the Stars 4-2. Caps over Utah 6-2. Sharks over the Red Wings 5-4 in OT on a game winner by Macklin Celebrini. So a lot of dogs except for Utah was a dog and Philly. So it was a dog's night in hockey. All right, 7 o'clock. Oilers Sens. Oilers minus 120, Sens plus 106, over under 6.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Oilers minus 1.5 plus 184, Sens plus 1.5 is minus 230. I don't think the Oilers are going to lose 2 in a row, but the second of back-to-back hurts. I'm going to go with the over, although the Oilers have been an under team. Lightning Pens. Lightning minus 152, Pens plus 126, over under 6.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Bolts minus 1.5 plus 58, Pens plus 1.5 is minus 96. I'm going to take the Penguins plus 126. I feel like they're a team that's getting momentum. 8 o'clock, ESPN Plus and Hulu, Wild Blues. Wild minus 170, Blues plus 140, over under 5.5. Overs minus 120, unders plus or minus 102. Wild minus 1.5 plus 152, Blues plus 1.5 is minus 188. I'm going to take the under. Don't feel good about it. Panthers Jets. Jets minus 115, Panthers minus 104, over under 5.5. Overs minus 132, unders plus 108. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 265. Jets minus 1.5 plus 210. Stanley Cup final preview, perhaps. The Jets have lost twice since they beat the Rangers. When was that? The Panthers beat them and the Lightning beat them back-to-back over the weekend. I think this is a bounce back for Winnipeg. I'm taking them at minus 115. 8:30, Ducks Blackhawks. Blackhawks minus 160, Ducks plus 132, over under 6.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 92. Blackhawks minus 1.5 plus 154. I don't think the Ducks are winning 2 in a row. Although they have more points than the Blackhawks. We're going over at even money. 9 o'clock, Islanders Flames. Isles minus 11, Flames minus 8, over under 5.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Isles minus 1.5 plus 5, Flames plus 1.5 is minus 290. I'm going Calgary at home, minus 108. I don't know why they're an underdog. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, Rangers Canucks. Pick a minus 110 each way, over under 6.5. Overs plus 106, unders minus 130. Rangers minus 1.5 plus 120. Canucks plus 1.5 is minus 280. I like the Canucks at home, minus 110 is a pick 'em. I just think the Rangers get favoritism because they're the Rangers and they're in the conference finals last year and they won the President's Trophy last year. I'm taking the Vancouver Canucks at home, minus 110. All right, college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday, and we'll look ahead to the slate for tonight. For our tip-off campus game, Michigan over Miami of Ohio, 94-67. Bryant over Delaware, 85-84. McNeese over North Texas, 68-61. Howard over FIU, 75-70. NC State over Colgate, 72-49. High Point over American, 80-73. George Washington over NJIT, 84-64. Pitt over VMI, 93-48. UNC Asheville over North Florida, 89-75. So best bet easily won. Wichita State over Monmouth, 70-66. Southeast Louisiana over Yale Monroe, 70-67. Number 5, Iowa State over IU Indy, 87-52. Number 19, Wisconsin over Texas Rio Grande, 87-84. Number 20, Arkansas over Pacific, 91-72. Southern Illinois over North Dakota State, 69-44. Texas Tech over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 98-64. SMU over Prairie View, 110-69. Number 4, Auburn over North Alabama, 102-69. Utah State over Montana, 95-83. Wazoo over Northern Colorado, 83-69. Number 3, Gonzaga over San Diego State, 80-67. And Fullerton over Idaho State, 62-61. All right, today's game's 5:30. Quinnipiac Navy. I have Quinnipiac by 6 3/4. And it is 2.5 and 149.5. I'm going to take Quinnipiac minus the 2.5. 6 o'clock, Loyola, Maryland, Boston College. I have BC 18.5, and it's 13.5 and 138.5. I'm laying the points of BC. Longwood, Binghamton. I have Longwood 3 3/4, and it's 7.5 and 142.5. I'm going to take the home dog here, Binghamton, and plus the points. 6:30, Queens, App State. I have App State 15 3/4, and it's 9.5, 149.5. I'll lay the points. 7 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, East Texas A&M, number 2, UConn. My line is UConn 33.5, and it is 37.5 and 146.5. I'm going to take A&M, East Texas A&M plus the points. All right, 7 o'clock, Lipscomb against number 9, Kentucky. I don't know why the new AP poll I have Kentucky 19. And Kentucky is 20.5. Total is 160.5. Total is really high. I mean, very high. I'm going to go with the under. Number 18, Cincinnati at Northern Kentucky. Or maybe I just got that one number wrong. I have Cincinnati 22 1/4. It's 14.5 and 137.5. I'll lay the points with Cincinnati on the road. Florida A&M at number 21, Florida 44.5. And 36.5, 156.5. I'll lay the points. SIU Edwardsville, Green Bay. I have Green Bay as a 4.5 point underdog. And their favorite 2.5 total is 146.5. I'll take Edwardsville plus the 2.5 and plus 118 outright. Drexel Fairfield. My line is Fairfield 8 3/4. And it's only 1.5 and 134.5. I'll lay it with Fairfield. Gardner Webb Charlotte. Mine's Charlotte by 11.5. And it's 7.5 and 143.5. I'll lay it. Hampton UMBC. My line's UMBC by 8. And it's 6.5 and 147.5. I'm going to go with the over, but I don't feel good about it. Troy, West Georgia. My line is Troy by 24. And it's 13.5 and 144.5. I'll lay the points. Wagner, BU. My line is BU 5 3/4. It's 4.5, 122.5 over. That's way too low. Eastern Kentucky, Chicago State. I have Eastern by 9. And it's 7.5, 147.5. I'm going to go with the over, but I don't feel good about it. Buffalo, Vermont. I have Buffalo 10 3/4. And it's... Wait. That's not right. That's not right. I think I did that one wrong. There we go. Vermont by 10 3/4. I just had the plus instead of the minus. Oops. And it is 15.5 and 140.5. I'll still take Buffalo getting the points. That's a big number. Niagara Bowling Green. My line is Bowling Green by 5 3/4. And it is... I don't see that. Oh, there it is. 9.5 and 151.5. I'm going to take Niagara getting the points. Dartmouth Marist. My line is Marist 9 3/4. And it is let's see. Dartmouth Marist. 9.5 and 138.5. Over. Milwaukee Decade. My line is Decade 9.5. And Decane 5.5, 149.5. I'm gonna lay the points with Decane. North Dakota, Notre Dame. I have Notre Dame by 19. And Notre Dame is giving 19.5 totals, 147.5. I'm going to go with the over. Hofstra, Florida State. Mine is Florida State, 10 3/4. And it's 7.5 and 143.5. I'll lay with Florida State. Tennessee Tech, UCF. I have UCF 29 1/4. And it is 25.5 and 146.5. I'll lay the points with UCF. Penn Villanova on Peacock. Big 5 campus game. Mine's Villanova 20 1/4. Villanova better not freaking lose this game. That's all I got to say right now. 14.5, 141.5. I'll lay with Villanova. Fox Sports 2, Delaware State, Providence. I have Providence 28 1/4. It's 21.5, 135.5. I'll lay it. Evansville, Ohio State. And it's Ohio State 23.5, and it's 26.5, 147.5. I'll take Evansville getting the number. Cleveland State, Minnesota on the Big Ten Network. Mine's Minnesota 15 1/4. And Minnesota is... That game's 7:30? No. It's 14.5 and 135.5. I'm going to take the over. That's a low total. Bama, A&M, Georgia. My line is Georgia 24 3/4. And Georgia is 25.5 totals, 149.5. I'm going to do over as well. Canisius, Maryland. My line's Maryland 34 3/4. And it's 30.5, 141.5. I'm going to lay it with Maryland. Western Carolina, Wake Forest on the ACC Network. Mine's Wake by 28. And it's 22.5, 144.5. I'll lay the points with Wake. Bellarmine, Louisville. Mine's Louisville 29.5. And Louisville is giving 28.5 totals, 148.5. I'm going to go with the over as well. 7:30, Oral Roberts, Belmont. Mine's Belmont 8 1/4. And it's 10.5 and 154.5. I'm going to take Oral Roberts getting the points. Bethune Tulane, Cancun Challenge Campus Fake Game. My line's Tulane 19 and 13.5, 148.5. I'll lay it. 8 o'clock. UNC Wilmington at number 1 Kansas. Mine's Kansas 23 3/4, and it's 23.5, 157.5. That's a high total, but I'm going to go with the over. Texas, Arlington, Missouri State. I have Pick'em, and it's 2.5, 152.5. I'll take Texas, Arlington plus the 2.5 and plus 112 to win straight up. They're just a better team than Missouri State, just in general. Because I remember doing this projection, and it came out to Pick'em. Stanford, Michigan State. Peacock. Mine's Michigan State by 17. It's 17.5, 162.5. That's who I like the under. Western Illinois, Northern Iowa. I have Northern Iowa by 9.5. And it's 14.5, 134.5. I'm going to take Western in the points. Charleston, Southern, LSU. My line is LSU 17.5. And it is 27.5 and 150.5. I'm going to take Southern in the points. Alcorn State, TCU. TCU by 34. And it's 32.5, 145.5. I'm going to go with the over. Mississippi Valley State, Kansas State. Kansas State 42.25, 39.5 and 135.5. I'll lay it. Rider, Iowa. I have Iowa 21 3/4. And it's 21.5 and 155.5. I'm going to go with the under. It's Iowa. That's an under. Rice, Louisiana at 8:30. I have Louisiana by 5. And it's 3.5 and 141.5. I'm going to go with the over. Southern Utah, Loyola, Chicago. Mine's Loyola, Chicago, 22.5. And it's 14.5 and 148.5. I'll lay the points with Loyola, Chicago. Game of the night. 9 o'clock. Fox Sports 1. Number 6, Purdue. Number 15, Marquette. My line's Purdue by 1. It's Marquette 4.5, total 152.5. I'm going to take Purdue plus the points and plus 168 to win. I understand Zach Edey's no longer on this team. And I like this Marquette team, but they don't have Tyler Kolek anymore. I just think this is a close game. I don't know if Purdue will actually win. I think the plus 168 is worth a shot in an underdog moneyline parlay. But I am going to give out Purdue plus the 4.5. Eastern Illinois, DePaul on Fox Sports 2. It's the DePaul Classic. I have DePaul by 24. It's 18.5 and 145 and FLA with DePaul. DePaul's actually off to a decent start by their standards. Big Ten Network, Montana State, Northwestern. I have Northwestern by 13. It's 15.5 and 137.5. I'll take Montana State in the points. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, UC Riverside, Santa Clara. I have Santa Clara 14 3/4. And it's 7.5 and 151.5. I'll lay the points with Santa Clara. All right, college football tonight. We have 3 games all on the MAC. First up, at, I believe, 7 o'clock. Let's see. Yes, 7 o'clock. CBS Sports Network, Akron, Kent State. This is a terrible game. I have Kent State by 2 total. Akron by 2 total, 56.5. And it's 10.5 and 48.5. That's ridiculous. So I have an 8.5 point edge on Kent State. And I have an 8 point edge on the over. Kent State plus the points and over 48.5 would be a good same game parlay. But I'm taking Kent State plus the 10.5 as the pick I'm giving out. On ESPN 2 at 7:30, Western Michigan, Central Michigan. I have Western by 7, total 60 and 13/20. And it's 6.5 and 56.5. Over. I just think that's an over game. 8 o'clock, ESPN, Northern Illinois, Miami of Ohio. It's after the college football playoff rankings. My line is Miami by 1, total 43 and 13/20. And it's 2.5 and 42.5. Ooh, this is actually pretty close. So I have a 1.5 point edge on Northern Illinois and a less than that on the over. So I'm going to do slightly Northern Illinois for my pick for that one. All right, now I'll move on to soccer. We'll go over the notable results and we'll look ahead to today. The leagues, I don't think, come back until the weekend. And we don't have time to do the picks for today for soccer. So we'll start with CONMEBOL. Friday results. Uruguay over Colombia, 3-2 in Peru, Chile, 0-0 draw. All right, today, 3 o'clock, Bolivia, Paraguay, 6 o'clock, Colombia, Ecuador, 7 o'clock, Argentina, Peru, Chile, Venezuela, 7:45, Brazil, Uruguay. Nations League, UEFA. Yesterday's results. Croatia, Portugal, 1-1 draw. Bulgaria, Belarus, 1-1 draw. Kosovo over Lithuania, 1-0. Spain over Switzerland, 3-2. Serbia, Denmark, 0-0 draw. Romania over Cyprus, 4-1. Scotland over Poland, 2-1. Luxembourg, Northern Ireland, 2-2 draw. San Marino over Liechtenstein, 3-1. All right, big slate today as well. 2:45, Albania, Ukraine, Bosnia, Dutch, Slovakia, Estonia, Sweden, Azerbaijan, Wales, Iceland, Malta, Andorra, Hungary, Germany, Czech Republic, Georgia, and Montenegro, Turkey. So it's the last day of group stage in this league. CONCACAF. So tonight, group stage, 3 o'clock, Antigua, Barbuda, and Dominica. And 6 o'clock is Dominican Republic and Bermuda. AFCON. Yesterday, Malawi over Burkina Faso 3-0. Sudan, Angola, 0-0 draw. Rwanda over Nigeria 2-1. Libya, Benin, 0-0 draw. Niger over Ghana 2-1. Gambia over Tunisia 1-0. Morocco over Lesotho 7-0. Comoros over Madagascar 1-0. And Gabon over Central African Republic 1-0. Going on right now, Tanzania up on Guinea 1-0. Kenya, Namibia 0-0 draw right now. And Cameroon over Zimbabwe 2-1. Still to come, 10 o'clock. Mauritania, Cape Verde, Egypt, Botswana, 11 o'clock, South Africa, South Sudan, Sierra Leone, Zambia, Mali, Eswatini, Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, Ivory Coast, Chad, Congo DR, Ethiopia, Congo, Uganda, and at 2 o'clock, Senegal, and Burundi. I forgot to go over yesterday's group stage games. St. Martin over Grenada 3-0. St. Martin over Aruba 1-0. Curacao over St. Lucia 4-1. Haiti over Puerto Rico 3-0. And then also Nations League. I know U.S. over Jamaica 4-2. And Panama, Costa Rica 2-2 draw, but Panama advances 3-2 on aggregate. So that was that. All right, the Asian. Friday, Japan over Indonesia 4-0, going on right now. Palestine, South Korea 1-1 draw. Iran over Pakistan Republic 2-0. And then results already: Indonesia over Saudi Arabia 2-0. Uzbekistan over North Korea 1-0. Japan over China 3-1. Coming up at 11 o'clock, Oman, Iraq, UAE, Qatar, 1:15, Kuwait, Jordan, and Bahrain and Australia. So the rest of the third round games in this isn't until March. So there you have it for soccer. I have a portfolio pick that I want to give out. There's 2 division long shots that I love based on schedules and how things may break. And I want to parlay them together. And that's the NFL. And I might actually throw a few college legs in there just to make the payout a little bit more juicy. So in the NFL, the Buccaneers to win the AFC South, or the NFC South, 4-1. The Rams to win the NFC West, that's 5-1. Or should I even put awards in this? Like, am I allowed to do Josh Allen MVP with this as well? Because I think he had that locked up with that Chiefs game? No. Okay. So college football. So it's only Tulane and Army for the ACC or the AAC. Tulane's just kicking everybody's ass. We're going to put them in there. And then we're going to put Boise in there as well. The SEC is still wide open. But I don't want to hedge. That big bet I have with Georgia and the Commanders and all them. By like going with Alabama or like going with Georgia, even doubling down on Georgia would be really fun. And Colorado's the favorite in the Big 12, which is absurd. And the favorite in the Big 10 is Ohio State, of course. But we know Ohio State's the best team in this league. But if Indiana finds a way to win that game on Saturday, they won't be 10-1. But if Ohio State wins, they won't be minus 120 anymore. So we're going to put them in. It's going to be 98-1. I'm going to put a couple of bucks on this. But let's do 2 or 3. I'm going to put $3 on it. Over 98-1. Bucks to win the NFC South. Rams to win the NFC West. Tulane in the American. Boise in the Mountain West. And Ohio State in the Big 10. Because you're not going to get that at minus 125 anymore. So 98.5-1 odds. A fun little college football, NFL division / conference parlay. Okay, now move on to the news and notes for today. I'm going to try to be very quick here. So all the talk is about the Cowboys, obviously, and what a shit show they are. They're, if they didn't have the quarterback injury, they would have probably been the laughingstock of the league this year. But the Jets exist. They're the laughingstock of the league right now. It's not the Giants. It's not the Panthers. It's not the Saints. It's not the Browns. The Jets are the laughingstock of the NFL this year because they have Aaron freaking Rodgers and they're 3-8. And the Cowboys, there was a broken piece of that fell off the ceiling as this happened after the Cowboys tried opening the roof for the first time in over 2 years. And the Texans trolled the roof as an admin got in their bag after seeing broken piece of AT&T Stadium ceiling. And then there's a viral picture going around of CeeDee Lamb's face on the bench. And then Jake Ferguson left the game with a concussion. Nico Collins came back for Houston. Dax was put on IR. And Jerry Jones was making comments about how he didn't anticipate 3-7. But didn't you not say a few weeks ago that this team wasn't really any good even with Dak? So the Yankees met with Juan Soto. The meeting went well. Juan is to meet with the Dodgers next. But Steve Cohen is willing to go over $50 million over what other teams offer. That's according to the Yes Network. Although that doesn't necessarily mean that Juan Soto is going to go there. But if he goes there, I think the Mets have to be considered a World Series contender for sure. And they instantly become a better team than the Yankees if they have Juan Soto. Juan Soto is the difference between these two, how the two baseball teams will fare next year. Although I think the Mets would still be decent without him because they have other money to spend elsewhere. And I personally think that the Mets need pitching more than Juan Soto. They made the NLCS last year. And I thought that their pitching got exposed against the Dodgers. So I think they need more pitching than Juan Soto. And I think the Yankees need Juan Soto more than pitching, if that makes sense. And then Sean Manaea, speaking of Mets pitching, declined the qualifying offers. He's to test the free agent market. Walker Buehler, the Braves and the Cubs are linked to him. The Astros are interested in Willy Adames as he's open moving from shortstop to third base. He's good. Whoever he goes is going to be interesting. I think he's one of the sneaky good free agents. Alex Ovechkin is now 27 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. He's on a mission this year. He had a bad year by his standards last year, and now he's been really good. So 2025 Baseball Hall of Fame nominees came out. Each row is among 14 newcomers. The Astros renamed their ballpark. So it's no longer Minute Maid Park. And that's crazy because that's what everybody knows it as. Dakin Park is the new name. The Lakers are giving Pat Riley a statue as he won 5 titles with the franchise. The Dallas Wings won the Paige Becker sweepstakes. Paige Becker's preferred the Sparks, though. Of course she did. Everyone wants to go to LA. Taco Fall joins the New Zealand Breakers as he goes to the NBL. Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report is reporting that Dayball may be coaching for his job. As growing sense is that his seat is heating up after the quarterback change. I think that is because of the owner, who is not a good owner, as we know. And the nepotism that goes on in that organization. And he forced that extension down their freaking throats. And if the GM and the coach keep their jobs, which I won't be, I'll put it this way. Listen, Joe Shane missed on Evan Neal. And I think the truth's going to come out about the Daniel Jones extension. If he fires Shane and Dayball, that means that Shane did it. If Shane and Dayball return, that means John Mara forced that down their throats. And John Mara is admitting, I forced that Daniel Jones extension down their throats. They deserve a second chance. Which I think the latter is very well in play. And listen, I'm not opposed to them coming back. I'm not opposed to them coming back. Because this isn't Dave Gettleman. They're not Dave Gettleman bad. But the owner is just the worst owner in New York sports right now. And they have the worst team in New York sports right now. And it's not really close. I mean, we thought the Brooklyn Nets were going to be that bad, but they're not. The Giants are the worst team in New York. It's not even close. And then Jordan Schultz reports that the relationship with Daniel Jones and the Giants became awkward as things took a turn while the team was publicly exploring other quarterback options. And the Giants were doing the right thing by looking for other quarterback options. They were. And the fact that Jordan Schultz came out and said those two things about Dayball and the Giants' awkward relationship with DJ, that feels like two different things. So we'll see what turns out to be true. Could be both, though. Brock Purdy, day-to-day with shoulder soreness, proof. Like, the 49ers are probably having the year from hell. Gabe Davis out for the year with the meniscus repair. Not that matters. He didn't make a big impact on the Jaguars this year. Browns left tackle DeJuan Jones out for the year with a broken ankle. Jonathan Brooks to come back finally for the Panthers as he'll debut against the Chiefs. Bill Belichick's linked to the Cowboys as there's speculation around the league that Bill will be one of the top considerations for Jerry Jones. The rookies of the year in baseball were announced. It's two pitchers, Paul Skeens of the Pirates in the National League and Luis Heel of the Yankees in the American League. I wasn't sure how the rookies of the year were going to go. I mean, Paul Skeens was really good. Jackson Morrell was really good. I honestly thought Colton Cowser was going to win for Baltimore, but they gave it to Heel because the Yankees won that division, and they probably don't win the AL East without Luis Heel last year. It's weird saying that, but it might be true. And it was a close race. It was close. But I just think it's New York bias. Sorry. And I'm a Yankees fan, and I even saying it. But that said, Aaron Judge better win MVP by a lot, despite the bad playoffs. So Rick Brunson, who's the father of Jalen Brunson, is on the Knicks coaching staff. And he got a promotion to lead assistant because Johnny Bryant's now with Cleveland with Kenny Atkinson. As the Knicks called a rumored NBA investigation into Brunson's promotion offensive. Of course the Knicks are going to say that because the Knicks think that the league and Adam Silver don't like him and don't like Dolan. So we'll see how that plays out. And then Barca refused $265 million for Lamine as the club confirms the big offer. So there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I'm doing something I did the other day. I'm laying the big number against the Pelicans, but this time with the Mavs. I'm going to lay a 20th of a unit on it. That's how good I feel about it. Just fade the Pelicans while they have all these injuries while you can. So, a 20th of a unit, Mavericks minus 12 against the Pelicans. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking into everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.